Hey guys, it's Will. Hopefully you're having a good day today. So we were just wrapping up some of the kitchen stuff, got it done. Also got a new dog mat here. Take a look. There's a German Shepherd back there now. So that's good. I wanted to do a breakdown of our trade that we're in today for stock mates. And after this I actually got to get going because um I don't know if I should have gotten a golf membership, but now that I have a golf membership, I'm like feel like I have to use it. Like I know that it's not that much. Like I guess country clubs sometimes can be expensive, but it's like you're like you have to use it. Otherwise, like I can't get subscriptions to things and not use them. Just how I feel about it. Um, Anyway, this is a position we just entered, fairly small position. We're just in for about 15 to 20,000 bucks. I guess it's a little larger than some of our smaller positions we take in like day trades. But I just wanted to kind of map out what we're looking at here. This is LUNR. This is a stock that is called LUNR, and it is because they are called intuitive machines. And essentially, they've had some swings up into this $24 range in January. Last year, around this time, they were just about $3 a share. We saw them surge to $24 in January, February, sell back down to $6 a share, start to make a run up, and then recently, let's see if we get a better view. There's a lot of lines here, kind of see here. They recently pulled back. They shot up and then pulled back here to this support level at about $11.24. So we're in it. It's down just a tad right now. It's hovering above a stop that we have there, and we're going for about a 10% margin. So somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000 potential profit. But the reason I wanted to show it to you guys was, from a technical perspective, to me it made sense. Might have to move the stop down just because we got to respect this support here at around 1140, 1130 right here. But we have this support. It's rising support. Then you got this resistance here, resistance, or previous resistance acting as a support. And I know there's a lot of lines, so it might look kind of crazy, so I could just kind of delete these. But from a consolidation perspective, it could search this $13 range. From a trend upward perspective, it also seems like it could be bullish. And maybe we didn't have the perfect entry. We waited for a big dip here in the last day or so, down from 1280 down to about 1160, and we just got in here right around 1170. It's at 1163 right now. And this company just recently announced that they got a $9.8 million contract, and it propels them forward here. They got some orbital transfer vehicles that they have launched up into space, or that's what they do. They specialize in not just technology like satellites, but they're also working on building things for NASA. They work in building actually a lunar infrastructure on the moon, and also on Mars. They're looking to do a Mars mission. They just had their second mission here in March to the moon here. This is a NASA held joint press conference here. Latest mission with the landing updates, and essentially they're going to be providing some updates. This is the IM-2 mission, and they have a cool NASA video here that gives kind of a breakdown of the whole event, kind of what they're planning to do. It's kind of a lot of talking, so I'm not going to go into it in its entirety, but essentially what they were focusing on here is getting back to like moon infrastructure. Is it a big value to the world? Personally, I believe that space exploration is a huge value to humanity. And it's like when humans were first figuring out how to sail ships across the oceans and across the Great Pond, when we started doing that, it at first people were like, that's crazy. We shouldn't do that. Why are we investing in infrastructure that might just totally disappear and we're going to lose money? Those ships are going to go away. Um, but no, what happens is like you figure it out, you start to build, a base in America, for example, or you start to build a base in another country because we were doing that. Now we're starting to do that, but with planets. We're doing that with Mars and with with the moon. And I think this is kind of cool. The revenue, I mean, you guys tell me, but if a company is having positive net income as a space company, that's pretty rare. Sometimes we've seen them go positive. Revenue holding around 50 to 60 million dollars a quarter, with some net income negative. Annually, they did have a negative net income, but you see their revenue increasing, and they just passed $250 million in revenue. The other thing is, I mean, most space companies have a lot of liabilities, and that's how they looked last year, but they actually look pretty good. I mean, their total assets up to $500 million, the blue there, and their total liabilities at 172. It's pretty good. So that's kind of the focus in a trade right now. So we got news coming out. Financials look fairly good. Market cap's at 2 billion, little bit high, but again, I think there could be some growth potential here in the near term. And so we're looking for what could be a 5 to 10% margin for profit here, 11% to even 15% margin for profit. Just got to be careful. We still got to manage risk. We got the Fed meeting today. They decide they're not going to cut interest rates. That's probably going to hold the market steady. But if they cut interest rates, things could rocket, especially the smaller cap companies. When interest rates go down, what happens? They're going to be able to get funding easier. So smaller companies are going to rocket most likely. However, and I say rocket because it's a space company, but that's not why I said it. They're going to go up. All space tech most likely, but also AI companies, small AI companies, AI. There could be robotics companies, nuclear, aviation companies, defense companies. Most of them are going to do good. Quantum companies when interest rates are down, especially if they're smaller. Now, the flip side of that would obviously hurt is if interest rates cut. And I believe, I could be wrong here, but I believe there's a lot of supply of homes. If you drive through the US, I just drove across the whole US recently with my wife from Florida to California. Not because we had to, but because we really wanted to. And I'll tell you, it was great. We got to stop in all these towns and like do the trip. But I'll tell you, the weird part was there was a lot of houses for sale. Now, why is that weird? Because right now there's already people who don't want to sell their homes because why? They locked in their low interest rate. They got a good interest rate back in 2020 or before that. And they're like, I don't want to sell my home. I don't want to have to go figure out another interest rate or refinance or get another. They're good with it. And so when interest rates drop, what happens? All those people are like, all right, great. Now I could sell my home because people will want to buy it because the interest rate makes sense and everything else. There's already a large supply of homes. So we could see a supply shock, which could drive the real estate market down tremendously. So you just got to keep that in mind too. Overall, though, holding assets, you're good. Try and buy assets, have a business, hold a amount of stocks in this market. We're in a golden age. I wouldn't have too much fear around these times. There's things that have happened in the past, like the dot-com bubble. There's 2008, of course, those things happen. Crashes happen. 2020 crash, it happens. But what do we know? Things recover. And the best time to invest was yesterday. That's really, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, sure. But what you know is that whether or not assets go up or down is not a question. Assets will continue to go up over time. The US dollar can only hold so much strength. And so it's not a bad place to be looking if you're trying to hold your money in a place that it can have the best chance to grow. So with that being said, any scarcity, I know market corrections yesterday. Now things look great. Things look good. People are excited. Our positions are up. Things are nice. But just keep in mind that as long as you have a plan together, you will be okay. Have a plan for the short term. Every time that I've made trades in really rocky markets, it's the thing that has saved me is having a plan for short-term trades where I like manage risk, for example, or in long-term trades, like those are the times where you don't get scared. You end up buying more. You got to buy more of the dips, buy more. And that's kind of what we saw maybe yesterday as a good buying opportunity. And so LUNR stock, could I be wrong? Could it sell down? It's possible. They got a $10 million contract though. So, kind of a big bet. Wanted to share it with you guys here so you could kind of see what I'm doing. And it's not because I think you should take the trade or anything like that. It's just to give you an idea of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing support and resistance, which is one factor. The financials, which is another fairly good factor. So we just kind of went through, kind of seeing that increase year over year, the revenue increasing, and reducing their debt. And then you have the news, right? The $10 million deal today, this morning, that was brought to our attention in a live session. So that's going to be a focus. If you'd like to join us in the live sessions that we have every day at Market Open, it's the second link in the description. We also have a machine going out. So if you're curious about what it takes to get some AI analysis, I've been using this machine a lot. It gives us projections for the next months, and gives us why exactly a stock is projected to go a certain way. And it's on the GPT Pro model. But if you want the ability to get first access to it, it's the first link in the description down below. Thanks so much for watching. Fire your thumbs up, smash the like button to consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.